वेलकम टू झलक, अ सीरीज ऑफ वीकली करंट अफेयर्स बाय दिशा पब्लिकेशन। मैं पायल पवार आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ झलक में। और इस वीडियो में हम एक झलक डालेंगे पिछले हफ्ते की महत्वपूर्ण खबरों पर, जो कि है एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। सबसे पहले तो आइए जानते हैं यूनियन बजट 2023-24 के बारे में। 2 फरवरी को रिलीज इस बजट में इंडिया के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने इसे अमृत काल में पहला बजट कहा है। द विजन फॉर द अमृत काल इज एन empowered and inclusive economy that is technology driven and knowledge based with a robust financial sector। यानी कि जो अमृत काल का विजन यानी दृष्टिकोण है, वह एक सशक्त और समावेशी अर्थव्यवस्था है जो एक मजबूत वित्तीय क्षेत्र के साथ प्रौद्योगिकी संचालित और ज्ञान आधारित है। आइए नजर डालते हैं इसके की हाइलाइट्स पर। A key theme of Union Budget 2023-24 is the focus on inclusive development, सबका साथ सबका विकास, which specifically covers farmers, women, youth, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, दिव्यांगजन यानी persons with disabilities and economically weaker sections. Key takeaways of the budget: changes in the new income tax regime, in rebate limit and in tax slabs. A 33% increase in capital investment outlay has been proposed, raising it to rupees 10 lakh crore. आपको बता दूं कि इट्स द बिगेस्ट रेज इन द पास्ट डिकेड। Changes in custom duty, reduced on import of certain imports for mobile phone manufacturing, shrimp feed, etc., and increased on cigarettes, gold articles, compounded rubber, etc. Capital outlay for the railways increased to the highest ever, rupees 2.40 lakh crore. 157 new nursing colleges will be established in 2 locations with the existing 157 medical colleges established since 2014. A mission to eliminate sickle cell anemia by 2047 will be launched. बात करते हैं इंडिया's first hydrogen train की। So the Indian Railways is introducing a green revolution and will be introducing hydrogen and electric trains to the 8 heritage routes in the country by December 2023। यानी कि साल के अंत तक भारत में ये हाइड्रोजन ट्रेन का आगमन हो जाएगा। आपको बता दें, न्यू ट्रेन्स विल रन ऑन द रूट्स ऑफ कालका शिमला रेलवेज, नीलगिरी माउंटेन रेलवेज, दार्जिलिंग हिल्स, कांगड़ा रेलवेज, बेरीमोरी वाघई, महाव पतलपानी, मारवर देवगढ़ मदरिया and Matharan Hill railways. The coaches of new trains will be retrofitted, induced with hydrogen propulsion engines that will be used for commercial purposes by the end of the year. Hydrogen engines have been developed by a few countries like Germany, France and China, and now India will also be a part of this. India to be theme country at 2025 Madrid International Book Fair. 3 फरवरी को खबर आई है कि इंडिया विल बी इनवाइटेड एज द फोकल कंट्री एट द मैड्रिड इंटरनेशनल बुक फेयर इन 2025. The Madrid International Book Fair is an annual event held in the Buen Retiro Park in Madrid. Spain is the theme country at the 46th International Kolkata Book Fair. आपको बता दें कि दोनों देशों के बीच सांस्कृतिक आदान प्रदान के हिस्से के रूप में स्पेन ने बंगाल में 5 यूनिवर्सिटीज को किताबें दान की हैं, जहां स्पेनिश भाषा पढ़ाई जाती है। आजाद इंजीनियरिंग प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, a Hyderabad-based market leader in engineering, has been approved as the first Indian company to supply critical rotating parts for nuclear turbines. Yes, it's India's first supplier of nuclear turbines parts. Okay, तो जानते हैं इसके बारे में। आजाद इंजीनियरिंग ने न्यूक्लियर टर्बाइन पार्ट्स की आपूर्ति के लिए जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक स्टीम पावर के साथ एक लॉन्ग टर्म सप्लाई एग्रीमेंट पर हस्ताक्षर किए हैं। And they have signed a long-term agreement with GE Steam Power to manufacture critical rotating parts for nuclear turbines in one of the most stringent environments. GE Steam Power informed that it offers a broad portfolio of technologies and services for power plants, helping customers deliver reliable power as they transition to a lower carbon future. Azad Engineering, an end-to-end solution provider, noted that it expects to deepen its relationship as a preferred partner and continue to enjoy the flagship position with a new facility coming up over the next 18 to 24 months. On 3 Feb, Minister of Tourism G. Kishan Reddy launched the Visit India Year 2023 initiative and unveiled the logo in New Delhi. तो आइए जानते हैं क्या-क्या हुआ इस लॉन्च में। मिनिस्टर ऑफ टूरिज्म जी किशन रेड्डी ने कहा कि विजिट इंडिया ईयर 2023 लोगो की लॉन्चिंग इस इंपॉर्टेंट ईयर में हो रही है क्योंकि भारत G20 का नेतृत्व कर रहा है। More than 1 lakh foreign delegates will visit India this year and they will be showcase the entire gamut of India's culture, including monuments and festivals, harnessing the movement created by the recovery of the global industry, preferential sentiment from global travelers for exploring India and building upon the success in growing tourism in India over the years. Yes, the Tourism Ministry is on a mission to unlock the untapped potential of tourism in India, making India a 365-day destination. Recently, the Supreme Court has rejected a petition to bar candidates from contesting from more than one constituency in the general और assembly elections, यानी कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आम या विधानसभा चुनावों के उम्मीदवारों को एक से ज्यादा निर्वाचन क्षेत्रों से चुनाव लड़ने से रोकने की याचिका को खारिज कर दिया है, calling it a matter of parliamentary sovereignty and political democracy. The plea had challenged the constitutionality of Section 33(7) of the Representation of Peoples Act 1951, citing that it is unreasonable for creating extra burden on the public exchequer, as by-elections will invariably follow because candidates have to give up one seat in case they win on both the seats. मतलब इसमें कहा गया था कि सरकारी खजाने पर अतिरिक्त बोझ डालना अनुचित है क्योंकि उपचुनाव अनिवार्य रूप से होंगे क्योंकि उम्मीदवारों को एक सीट छोड़नी होगी अगर वे दोनों सीटों पर जीत जाते हैं तो। As per Section 33(7) of the RPA 1951, एक उम्मीदवार अधिकतम 2 निर्वाचन क्षेत्रों से चुनाव लड़ सकता है। More constituencies were allowed until 1996 when the RPA was amended to set the cap at 2 constituencies. Running in multiple constituencies can create conflicts of interest as the candidate may not be able to devote equal time and attention to each of their constituencies. It is Parliament's will that determines whether political democracy is furthered by granting such a choice. On 6 February 2023, Union Home Minister Amit Shah laid the foundation stone of a 450 crore nano urea plant and township of the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative in Deoghar, Jharkhand. तो आइए जानते हैं इस प्लांट के बारे में। The nano urea plant will be the 5th such plant in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the world's first nano urea plant in Gujarat in 2021. According to Union Minister Amit Shah, nano urea will benefit farmers and it is already being exported to 5 countries. Nano urea helps in improving the crop productivity, soil health and nutritional quality of products and aims to address the imbalance and excessive use of conventional urea. आपको बता दें कि the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited, also known as IFFCO, is a multi-state cooperative society engaged in manufacturing and marketing fertilizers in New Delhi. 6 फरवरी को प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी डेडिकेटेड द HAL हेलीकॉप्टर फैक्ट्री टू द नेशन इन तुमाकुरू, कर्नाटका। आपको बता दें कि दिस फैक्ट्री इज इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट हेलीकॉप्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी एंड विल इनिशियली प्रोड्यूस LUHs. So what is LUHs? The LUH is an indigenously designed and developed 3-ton class single-engine multi-purpose utility helicopter with unique features of high maneuverability. Initially, this factory will produce around 30 helicopters per year and can be enhanced to 60 and then 90 per year in a phased manner. The HAL plans to produce more than 1,000 helicopters in the range of 3 to 15 tons with a total business of over rupees 4 lakh crores over a period of 20 years. Inflation has risen to a 48-year high in crisis hit Pakistan, where the International Monetary Fund is visiting for urgent talks, according to data released on February 1 by the country's Statistics Bureau. तो आइए जानते हैं इसके key highlights के बारे में। Year-on-year inflation in January 2023 was recorded at 27.55%, the highest since May 1975, with thousands of containers of imports held up at Karachi port. पाकिस्तान की अर्थव्यवस्था गंभीर संकट में है, stricken by a balance of payments crisis, जबकि वह बड़ी मात्रा में भारी लोन चुकाने की कोशिश भी कर रहा है। Food prices rose by a staggering 43% in January year-on-year. Inflation rate in Pakistan averaged 8.05% from 1957 until 2023, reaching an all-time high of 37.8% in December 1973 and a record low of minus 10.32% in February 1959. On 2nd February 2023, the United Nations Cultural Organization UNESCO designated the historic center of Odisha as a World Heritage Site and categorized it as being in danger during a committee meeting in Paris. आपको बता दें कि यूनेस्को has designated the historic center of Odisha, a strategic port city on Ukraine's Black Sea coast, a World Heritage in danger site. The status, awarded by a UNESCO panel meeting in Paris, is designed to help protect Odisha's cultural heritage, which has been under threat since Russia's invasion, and enable access to financial and technical international aid. ये यूक्रेन की राजधानी कीव से लगभग 500 किलोमीटर की दूरी पर स्थित है and it is also known as the Pearl of the Black Sea. 2 फरवरी को आए 7.8 तीव्रता के भूकंप ने टर्की को हिलाकर रख दिया। इसके बाद एक और शक्तिशाली भूकंप आया जिसे क्षेत्र के कई प्रांतों में महसूस किया गया, जिससे कई इमारतें गिर गईं। The US Geological Survey said The earthquake was centered about 33 kilometers, 20 miles from Gaziantep, about 26 kilometers, 16 miles from the town of New Delhi. It was centered 18 kilometers deep according to the US Geological Survey. आपको बता दें कि टर्की एंड सीरिया में कम से कम 7,700 लोग मारे गए हैं और WHO के अधिकारियों ने चेतावनी दी है कि कुल संख्या 20,000 तक हो सकती है और अब ये संख्या इसके भी पार जा चुकी है। On 2nd February 2023, India, France and the UAE announced the creation of a formal trilateral cooperation initiative for projects in solar and nuclear energy, the fight against climate change and joint production of military hardware. This trilateral initiative will serve as a forum to promote the design and execution of cooperation projects in the fields of energy with a focus on solar and nuclear energy as well as in the fight against climate change and the protection of biodiversity, particularly in the Indian Ocean region. The three countries have also agreed to work together in defense, countering infectious diseases and promoting cooperation in global health organizations such as the World Health Organization, Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, the Global Fund and UNITAID. The three countries also agreed to expand their cooperation through initiatives such as the Mangrove Alliance for Climate led by the UAE and the Indo-Pacific Parks Partnership led by India and France. Vishwa Bharati University, founded by Rabindranath Tagore in 1921, is set to become the world's first living heritage university. The university is expected to receive the heritage tag from UNESCO in April or May 2023. तो आइए जानते हैं इसके बारे में कुछ। Vishwa Bharati University is located in Shanti Niketan, West Bengal, India. According to UNESCO, in 1922, Vishwa Bharati was inaugurated as a center for culture with exploration into the arts, language, humanities, music, and these are reflected in diverse institutes that continue in their educational programs like including Hindi studies, Sino-Asian studies, humanities, fine arts, and music. Until independence, it was a college and the institution was given the status of Central University in 1951 through a Central Act. The structures within the institutes of Vishwa Bharati University are diverse in architectural expression. In a rapidly changing geopolitical environment, the EU and India have a common interest in ensuring security, prosperity, and sustainable development based on shared values. The TTC will provide the political steer and the necessary structure to coordinate approaches and advance technical thought. The Working Group of Strategic Technologies, Digital Governance and Digital Connectivity will work jointly on areas such as digital connectivity, artificial intelligence, 5G, 6G, high performance and quantum computing, semiconductors, cloud systems, cybersecurity, digital skills and digital platforms. As far as green and clean energy technologies are concerned, the focus will be on investment and standards in green technologies. Areas to be explored could be clean energy, circular economy, waste management, plastic and litter in the ocean. The Trade, Investment and Resilient Value Chains Group will work on the resilience of supply chains and access to critical components, energy and raw materials. अब जानते हैं उन लोगों के बारे में जो आजकल सुर्खियों में बने हुए हैं। हरमनप्रीत कौर, why she is in news? स्पोर्ट्स ब्रांड प्यूमा इंडिया ने महिला क्रिकेट टीम की कप्तान हरमनप्रीत कौर को अपना लेटेस्ट ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बनाने की घोषणा की है। हरमनप्रीत joins Puma's roster of brand ambassadors that include Virat Kohli, football stars Neymar Jr. and Sunil Chhetri, boxer MC Mary Kom, cricketer Harleen Dewar, and parachuter Avni Lekhara. The 33-year-old batter from Punjab has the record of the fourth fastest women's T20I, and she is also India's only centurion in the women's T20I. Harmanpreet has scored 6 international hundreds so far in her career, 5 of them coming in from the ODIs. The most capped player in the T20I format has also been conferred the Arjun Award in 2017. Puma has been actively contributing to the rise of sports culture in the country by associating with 250 plus athletes across cricket, boxing, football and parasports. Next is Madhavendra Singh. Madhavendra Singh appointed as the first Chief Executive Officer CEO of Gujarat Ports Infrastructure Company Limited of the Gujarat Maritime Cluster. माधवेंद्र सिंह को गुजरात मैरीटाइम क्लस्टर की गुजरात पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनी लिमिटेड के पहले सीईओ के रूप में नियुक्त किया गया है। Admiral Madhavendra Singh, PVSM, AVSM, ADC, was Chief of Naval Staff of the Indian Navy between 29 December 2001 and his retirement from service on 31 July 2004. He had, by that date, completed over 41 years of service. He was also the chairman of Chief of Staff Committee from 2002 to 2004. The Gujarat Maritime Cluster (GMC) is the first of its kind commercial maritime cluster in the country, aimed at creating a hub for maritime services of international standards. Morgan Stanley named Arun Kohli as the new India head to replace Sanjay Shah, a veteran of 26 years at the firm who is retiring. Arun Kohli, currently the Chief Operating Officer for EMEA, will head the US Bank's business in the country. With the bank since 2007, Arun Kohli will relocate to Mumbai from London, where he headed the firm's post-Brexit strategy and implemented growth strategies across markets in the region. Morgan Stanley had been operating in India for 29 years and provides a variety of services from investment banking, fixed income, commodities and derivative products. Next is Monty Desai. Why in news? The Nepal Cricket Association has appointed former Indian cricketer Monty Desai as the head coach of the Nepal national cricket team. Nepal Cricket Association has signed a 2-year deal with Monty Desai. Monty Desai has been the head coach of teams like West Indies, Canada, UAE. He has also served as the head coach of the Rajasthan Royals team in the Indian Premier League IPL. His first assignment with the Nepal team will be the tri-series against Namibia and Scotland, which comes under the ICC World Cup Cricket League 2 and will begin from February 14th in Kathmandu. On 2nd February 2023, former Union Law Minister and eminent jurist Shanti Bhushan passed away at the age of 97. He served as the Law Minister in the Morarji Desai-led Janata Party government from 1977 to 79, which came to power after emergency. In political career, Shanti Bhushan was a member of the Congress and later of the Janata Party. A vocal activist and jurist, Bhushan was also the part of the anti-corruption movement that led to the formation of Aam Aadmi Party. Shanti Bhushan later quit the party. Legendary film director K. Vishwanath passed away in Hyderabad on February 2 at the age of 92 while undergoing treatment for age-related illnesses at a hospital. He began his filmmaking career under filmmaker Aduriti Subba Rao and eventually went on to work as an assistant director on 1951 Telugu film Pathala Bhairavi. His film won 5 national awards and 7 state Nandi awards. For his work, he was conferred with the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, the highest award in Indian cinema in 2017. K. Vishwanath was also a recipient of the Padma Shri. Vani Jayaram, at the age of 78, a legendary playback singer from the South film industry, passed away on 7 February. Vani Jayaram was an Indian playback singer in South Indian cinema. She has often been the choice for several composers across India from the 1970s until the late 1990s. Vani has sung in several Indian languages such as Kannada, Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam, Marathi, Odia, Gujarati, Haryanvi, Assamese, Tulu and Bengali languages. She won the National Film Awards for Best Female Playback Singer 3 times and also has won state government awards from the state of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. So that's it for today. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीक झलक में कुछ और नई खबरों के साथ। अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर करें एंड ऑल्सो सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल फॉर मोर एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू हिट द बेल आइकन फॉर द अपडेट्स। थैंक यू।